Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ed, and this is an old guy's journey into music. It's Sunday afternoon, right around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, August 23rd, 2026. We had a lot of rain this morning. Sun is out, but the air conditioning is on because it's hot. I hope you're all enjoying your day, and I hope you've all had a great weekend. Just want to fill you in on a few things that are going on right now. I had a really nice jam session yesterday with my buddy Mike up in Wallingford. We worked on a bunch of things. One of the things that he wanted to work on was the Doors song "Love Me Two Times." Turns out that's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Um, there's a lot of octaves and a few other things and riffs, and it's pretty fast. It's about 130 BPM. So after going through and struggling with this song a few times and watching some video tutorials on it and so on, what I did was I came up with a form for myself that helps me figure out what's going on. I don't know if it's, you know, applicable to anybody else, but certainly it helps me get a better handle on the song and what to play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable my right monitor and show you what I came up with here. There you go. Love Me Two Times. If you look at what I've got up there, you'll see that there's an intro, the NC, for those who are not familiar with it. There's no bass at all in there. It's just guitar. I think on the second bar, it comes in on the um, end of three, beginning of four, something like that. But when you're jamming with somebody, you don't have to be exact. If you're trying to be an exact cover band or a tribute band, then you do have to do it just like the band did. But you can see I play octaves like 20 times. Uh, there's a riff, there's hits, there's so on. Um, this helps me conceptualize the bass line. It's my own shorthand, my own notation. If somebody wants to copy this, I'm happy to put it up and you can take a look at it. I have to go through it again. There might be a couple of errors in it, but I'm not sure. The counts may not be exact. But again, when you're jamming with somebody, you don't always have to be exact to the record. If you come close, you have the same sound, and you realize that if you do play this out, say as a cover band, nobody's going to be sitting there and saying, "Oh, Ed only played 19 octaves, not 20 in the first bar." So that's the way that is. Also, if you notice, the way this is laid out, traditional songs, most pop songs are laid out as A, B, A, C, or B, or outro, however you may want to think about it. This is different. And there's a lot of songs from the 60s and the 70s that are laid out in this format. A, B, C, and D is like that. Uh, Born Under a Bad Sign by Cream is something similar to that. I think White Room also might be the same, which is another song that we worked on as well. So again, if somebody wants a copy of this particular um, format or form that I've used to try and um, better conceptualize how to play the bass line, you're more than welcome to it. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to provide that. Another thing I wanted to point out to people who are learning bass and playing bass is if you're reading charts and looking at charts, um, one of the staples has been IRealPro. It's been available on Android. It's been available on iOS for years and years and years. I've have copies of iRealPro on both an old Android tablet and also on my iPhone. But just recently, they released to the general public a version of iRealPro for Windows. And it's great, believe me. I'm a Windows person. As many of you know, I do Windows IT support. So having iRealPro on a Windows computer is just a godsend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that. And they added something which I don't think, and somebody can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I don't think that there's the ability in iOS or the Android versions of iRealPro to import HTML or another format into iRealPro and be able to manipulate it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put up my left monitor here on my side. And there you go. There's IRealPro. That happens to be White Room from Cream. This I imported off the web, okay, which you've been able to do. There's forums and so on. Somebody puts up a chart in one of the forums and you can import it. That's not been a problem. Um, and this is one I imported from one of those forums, which I have not reviewed yet. So it's in my set list and my song list, but I am going to go through it and see if it makes sense and see if it's correct or if I have to make changes, whatever. But the one thing I want to point out to you is that you can now go up to. I'm going to look over here at my screen. I think it's File. Let me see here. File. It's not actually doing what I expected it to do. So let me do. Let me see if I can do File. There it is, right there. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, you can. If we say File Import, it will bring up a dialog box of files that you can import from your computer, which is great. So if you happen to be able to produce an IRealPro formatted HTML file, you can now bring that in here to that. And how do you do that? Well, I don't know of a tool that's out there specifically that's labeled IRealPro HTML file import generator, but I do know, and let me close this up. I do know, and that's how another chart I think I have here. Well, anyway, there's another chart that I created, and that chart was created with the help of ChatGPT. I gave ChatGPT a bunch of different commands and suggestions and ideas on what to do and how to create a specific chart. And I'm going to see if I can pull that up for you now in a separate window. So if you give me a minute, I will find that chart. And let's see here. I think, nope, that is not it. Um, that is not it. Well, I know I have it here somewhere, so maybe at a future time I can bring it up. So if you're familiar with AI, and I am because I use it every day in my job to try and do some very technical things, it can really help you um, accomplish tasks that would normally have taken forever um, at a level that and at a speed that is just mind-boggling. So it took 6 iterations to create a chart um, for me, and it's not right. Okay, it's not perfect. So I have to go back, listen to the song, go through it again, and provide it with edits. Now, one other thing that was very interesting, and I just learned this the other day, was that, and I'll show it to you right now. Um, this, see it on the camera here. That's what happens when you record and you try to do too much at one time. Um, there we go. That's much better. So here is a chart that I did up by hand. And it's indicative, or certainly it's related to that one chart I put up that I did of the shorthand. And I was able to scan that in, and ChatGPT was able to format the information for me and put it in a Word document that I could later edit, which was great. Now, I just discovered something else too. On the back of that sheet, I like to reuse paper, is this. This is the chart that IRealPro generated for Love Me Two Times. And I know it's wrong. That's okay. It was an experiment for me. It was an experiment for it. So I will go ahead and look through that format. But the thing is, there's so many tools out there that you can use to help you in a jam. And I don't mean when you're stuck. I mean at a music jam with other people. You can use these tools to generate charts and other things, and also help you understand what's going on. ChatGPT was able to analyze an MP3 file for me of Love Me Two Times to tell me the progressions, tell me what's going on so I could better understand what was happening. So, whatever tools you have out there, you should try and use. Why not? That's why they're there. So, check it out. If you have any questions about any of the tools that I'm using, any about how I use them, again, put it in the comments. I'm happy to talk about that, either in those comments or a private message if you like. Uh, so again, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to go through all this. Again, my name is Ed, and this is an old guy's journey into music, brought to you by Blue Plate Radio Entertainment. We are unfiltered, unsponsored, a little bit unhinged sometimes, but everything is from the heart. And thank you for coming along on this journey. I really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon.